I think we all know, Laura, that agreeing payment terms that work for both parties is important. But why is that?
Well, you and your client or customer needs to be on the same page. So if you expect to be paid within 30 days after you've issued your invoice and your customer thinks it's okay to pay in 90 days time after receiving the invoice, then potentially there's a 60-day hole there in your cash flow.
How do you prevent that happening?
Agreeing payment terms right at the beginning of your relationship, confirming them in writing and making sure that they are clearly stated on your invoice or any other documentation or communications that you have.
And what about the situation we hear about quite frequently where the customer perhaps is a larger one and demands terms that won't work for the supplier?
Well, there has to be ultimately a discussion and possibly even negotiations. The member has to be willing to say what will impact their company if they agree to terms too large for them, for as a company basically. Being honest is really important. They won't be a good supplier to anybody if they go bust. So it's in the interest of the customer to agree shorter terms. And for many large businesses, they will agree to shorter payment terms if they understand the reality of the situation. So it might sound unreasonable, but it is better for a company to turn an order down than to accept one that ultimately puts them in failure.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to accept terms that you can't afford to give, you might as well stay in bed and lose money as that won't work.
Yeah.
I've seen that too, and in my time as Small Business Commissioner during the lockdown, I spoke to many senior executives from several high street names who were sort of saying to their smaller suppliers, they weren't going to pay them. And once we had a conversation and they understood that what for them was rows on a spreadsheet of invoices was getting cornflakes on the table for the small business owner, they shifted the goalposts within their own organisations. Team terms need to work for both parties.
Most definitely.
And if they don't, then the smaller business will fail. So having honesty and being willing to say what the impact is really, really important for the smaller business.
Yeah, most definitely. And if anybody would like any advice in regards to what we've discussed today, then we would encourage anybody to reach out. They can either pick up the phone, give us a ring on 01527 518 802, or even just log on through our website.
Thanks.
Thank you, Phil.